Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our Love Life Special Edition. I am joined by Matilda once again. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me again.
But I haven't said yet what we're going to talk about today. So we are going to talk about dangerous connections. So before you start thinking dangerous connections, today we're going to talk about dangerous connections with a little bit of a twist. Obviously, we will not have time to cover every single dangerous connection, but we will talk about two that I think are worth mentioning, okay?
Yes.
So thank you for coming once again, like
Thank
I said.
you.
So tell me, what is the first...
Dangerous connection that people have.
Yeah, that could be really dangerous, actually.
Online dating.
Okay.
And now there are people going to be watching thinking, but what is wrong with online dating? You know, because it's good. I'm a Christian, I'm a non-Christian, but it's good for me. The thing is, I used to date online.
Oh, well.
Yes, breaking news.
Revelation time.
Yes, breaking news.
You used to online date?
Yes, I actually did. When I was in uni and even before that, my friends and I would say, oh, let's explore, let's see what's going on out there.
I think it was new at the time.
Yeah,
right?
it was
How many years ago?
It was up and coming. Oh my gosh, when did I finish uni? Like 2007 or something like that. So it was
okay.
quite a while back, and everything was new.
Okay.
And so, I'd hear people say, and I'd hear people say, oh, I met my boyfriend online, and he did this for me, did that. So I said, oh, so let's explore. Let me go. And I tell you something, I was disappointed.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. But I'm listening to what you're saying, and I can think of a very interesting story, but I'll let you finish.
It's just so funny because you're talking to someone online and it looks very real, and, they even come across saying nice words and everything. And then one day I went to meet, one of these people.
You actually went to meet?
Oh.
How old are you, Matilda? Were you at the time?
I think I was like 19 or 18, something along those lines. But I actually went. I went to the cafe in central London.
Okay.
And I was like, where is this person? So I was looking. And then I was like, but I'm not seeing the person I saw online. Like, what's going on? And then I see someone waving to me. And this is actually a real life story.
Okay.
I see someone waving to me and I'm like, oh, but he doesn't look like the person I was, talking to, because the person I was talking to online.
You were very brave, Matilda.
I did, yeah. The person I was talking to online looked younger, but the person that was waving to me was much older.
Okay.
But out of curiosity, look at this. I still went, I sat down and we were talking. Inside of me, I knew it was wrong, but that curious button was being pushed. Like, oh,
that was before you became a Christian.
Oh yeah, but yeah, just a disclaimer there.
Disclaimer moment.
Exactly.
Let's see if our editor can pick up on this.
Yes,
and
disclaimer.
Then put like a little animation on the screen.
Disclaimer. I hadn't found God. I didn't know the church. I didn't even know anything about God at that time.
Because God is wisdom, isn't it? You learn a lot from the Bible.
I'm telling you. But that was how I lived, and I didn't do this just once. I did it a few times.
My God.
But it was very dangerous because each time it was like the situation was getting worse and worse. But now that I look back and I say like this, at that time I was very lonely, very insecure. So anyone that would give me attention, vulnerable, I'd be so happy, like, oh, and then when the guys online would pay me compliments, I think, oh, I see he likes me. Oh, I'm going to date him, everything. But I was young, naive, and insecure. And unfortunately, there are so many young people going down this path as well.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in danger, exposing yourself.
And your parents have no idea?
No, not at all.
Wow.
So it was very dangerous indeed, dangerous connections.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
And I said, I think, I didn't realize, but God was keeping me safe because anything could have happened to me. Anything. They could have done anything to me. But, in my bravado, my youth, I thought, yes,
you don't know who you're getting involved with.
And the alarm bell should have rung when I saw that this person doesn't look the same as he did online.
Did you used to watch the news?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Did you? I'm sorry about the question, but it's always on the news, so-and-so met so-and-so and then disappeared, and the parents keep saying, but she was a good girl.
Yeah.
She would never go off with anybody, but actually she did.
She did.
She did.
I was actually one of those,
more than
she
once.
was a good girl.
Oh my goodness, she's a good girl.
Girl.
I'm sorry. This is why we were talking about the other day on one of our episodes about the importance of family bonding.
Yes.
You need to know everybody's business in your house.
You need to.
In a nice way. I mean it in a nice way.
Exactly.
Imagine, I doubted that your parents knew about
Oh
this.
no, when my mom found out later on, because I was sharing my story and everything, she was like, but you lived in my house.
And you did all these kind of
you
stuff.
did all these kind of things. How didn't I know? How did I said, Mom, I deceived you because for her I was like her angelic daughter.
No, you're always the princess.
Yeah, exactly.
We also mentioned the princess syndrome. You know, she's my princess. Yeah.
She could do no wrong.
No.
But then when she found out, she was like, no wonder sometimes you'd isolate yourself and you wouldn't be around us. So this is what you were doing online.
So
and I
that's,
was like,
you see, so that's an example, a practical example of a dangerous connection.
yes.
Right? The online world, that also includes any platform, you know, not just an online dating platform, but anything like Facebook, like any of those things where you can interact with people.
And you don't know what's going on.
You don't know. But then, how is this dangerous? We know that married people, many married people do that.
Yeah.
And they wonder why their marriage is not going well because they do this kind of thing behind the other person's back.
Exactly.
So I wish that all of you may be found out and called to task because this is unacceptable, right?
It is. You're destroying your marriage.
You are, and you're not thinking of the other person and probably the children that are involved. So that's an example right there.
Yeah.
Another example, but actually, Matilda, before we go into the second and last example of a very dangerous connection, and very common that people think there's no harm there. Let's have a look at the street interviews and see what people have to say. Join us after that.
Well, yeah, it definitely can be dangerous. I certainly don't think it's a very healthy way to meet. People can hide behind the screen. You know, the first instance you meet a person online, you might not meet the real person. So somebody can put on a different persona. So, and by the time you meet that person, you might have already been having a completely wrong impression and been partially groomed into believing you're meeting like a safe person, whereas the person is not. And all my friends that I know that have started relationships online, whether they last just shortly or a bit longer, you know, they're not fortunate relationships.
Yeah, I think there's definitely risks to it. I think people get catfished. So when someone pretends to be someone else, uses other people's photos, has different names, different information about them, and then when they meet up, either they're different or people can get scammed. So there's definitely risks to it.
I guess there is a danger element to it. I trust that all the popular sites are regulated and all of security and all that sort of thing has been taken into consideration. But I guess meeting anyone you don't know in a place that you're not familiar with, I guess there's an element of danger. Well, to be really honest with you, I was very bored. I was single. And one of my colleagues every weekend was coming back talking about she went to this restaurant and that restaurant and she wore this dress and I thought, I want a little bit of that. So I signed up for it. To be honest, I met some cool people, but nothing ever came out of it. It just wasn't really for me. I think that for me, I'm a vibes person, and I think online dating doesn't allow you to sort of tap into someone's vibe. And most of the time when you meet them, you think, yeah, you're cute, but you're not my vibe. But this was many moons ago, so I don't know how I'd be if it was now. In fact, if it was now, I probably wouldn't do it.
I haven't met anybody online, so I've opened an account and I started looking around, and but then I kind of felt, you know, people were out there to meet not just one person at a time, but like a dozen at a time. So I just didn't like that. And one time I met somebody online. It wasn't pleasant, you know. It very quickly started into like sending sexual messages and sexual videos and a picture of his private parts. And it was just very, very invasive and very unpleasant.
Welcome back, and these were some of the opinions, as usual, that we like to play. Now, just before, Matilda, we move on to the second dangerous
Connection, yes.
There's another problem with the online kind of
World and dating.
dating, maybe not dating, but maybe, when people get in touch with you via your social media platform, like, oh, you're on Facebook, I have to even be careful how I say this, but listen, this is real, okay? This is very real and we understand, but maybe through today's episode, you can gain more wisdom.
Yeah.
And let go of what happened. Maybe it's something that happened to you already and you are still hurting.
Yes.
And you are still recovering. But what I'm talking about is scams.
Yes, this is a big one.
Big one. So let me just say from what I know, okay? Because like I always mention, we at our church, we are pastors' wives. And we work with people, real people, okay? With real life stories, real life situations. So, for example, we are in the church opens every day from 6:30 in the morning all the way until the last person leaves at 9:30, 10 p.m. sometimes. And we have 4 services a day, which you can pick. Oh, I have time to go in the morning, so I'll attend the 7 a.m. or the 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Okay. But we are always available. And so are our husbands, the pastors. And we welcome people to come in for marriage counseling, but also for advice.
Yes.
If you want to talk to someone, if you want to open up about something and ask for prayer. So it's very much a part of our work. And I have lost count, really. I don't like to overuse this expression because I think when you say it, it really has to mean what you say. That of people, and obviously if you come to me for advice, it's confidential. So if someone else comes after you for a chat, I'm not going to tell her, oh, so-and-so is going through the same.
Yeah, no, we
So
don't do
what
that.
do I see? I saw a pattern when it comes to online scams. Love scams. I don't know what you want to call it. Is that you are contacted by this very charming person who could be a woman, I don't know, maybe she's even in prison. I don't know if they have access to the internet. I don't know. But you are contacted by someone who says, and this is a big one, okay? Oh, I'm a soldier.
Yes.
I'm a soldier from this very distant land. We are having war or we are doing this training and I don't have access to my bank account. Listen, I love you so much. You are so beautiful. Because they prey on vulnerable women.
Yes.
What is a vulnerable woman? And please, I don't mean this in an offensive way, but if you post all your life online, if you post pictures of yourself on your underwear, coming out of a shower,
Nudes, all these
showing off,
things,
doing very dodgy poses, very suggestive poses, then, oh, this one is, she's looking for someone. She's looking for some kind of adventure or love or whatever. So they prey on people like this, and then they will tell you everything you want to hear. But the main thing they say is, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Don't tell your friends. This was the most, this is what all of them told me. Oh, but he always said, don't tell anybody. Because if I am being a victim of that, if I would have told probably in my circle of friends, there would be maybe another one or two or more that are hearing the same story. But look how tragic. People, they get so involved emotionally with someone they have never seen that to the point of giving away their life savings.
Yes. This is
So I have lost count, and this is very painful to hear. And sometimes, Matilda, someone comes to, they haven't yet given up their savings because that's the target they have. Okay, they don't want to marry you.
No.
They want to use you. And I know this sounds terrible, but we need to be real. We can't just turn a blind
No,
eye.
we can't be naive.
No, we can't.
I was talking to someone just this week about
and some
this.
people don't like to hear it.
They don't want to.
You don't want me to be happy.
You're
You are
trying to
jealous
steal
of
my
me.
Exactly. You're trying to take away my blessing because no, you're already married. And I was talking to someone about this. I was like, you have to be careful because men, they can sense when a woman is vulnerable.
But you know that many men are also victims of a scam like this?
Yes. Because nowadays people, like you said, people give themselves up too easily online.
Yes.
And there are people, it's called catfishing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they pose as someone else. And I was even reading about this week. How a
Well, you
lady,
used to do that online.
yeah,
You used
exactly.
to advertise yourself, right? Because that's what it is.
Exactly. And they knew that I was vulnerable and they
Mm-hmm.
prayed. And I was reading as well, a lady, she gave up her whole life savings to someone because he said, because I'm a member of a boy band and my manager is, away and and I was thinking to myself, I was reading, I was like, how naive are people being? Because now she's depressed, she's sad, she's lost everything. And it's kind of like, where do I go from now?
Yeah. What do I tell
What
my
do I-
family?
Exactly.
So some people even, ask themselves, how am I going to tell my children? How am I going to tell my husband? Some of them are married. It's a very sad situation. There you go, a very dangerous connection. Obviously people are looking for love. This was a God-given thing.
Yes,
you
a
were
gift,
born with that.
yeah.
But you need to be very careful. You need to be very wise. For instance, you need, if you were looking for love, if you are a genuine person, you're looking to find someone, to build a life together with someone. But then you go to certain places to find someone. Those places, only certain kind of people go to those places.
100%.
So you see, I think we need to think a bit more and be like, hold on a second. How can I find the future father of my children in a place like this?
Yeah.
Which kind of people like to go to these places? So
That's why we have to think.
yes, but people, you see, I don't know, we always blame Hollywood and the movies and the songs because what do they say? Follow your heart.
Yeah.
Like the other day, we were watching a street interview and the lady said, very proudly, I wear my heart on my sleeve. She was like, and I said, well, you should wear your brains on your sleeve because your life depends on it. My life depends on it. Your life depends on it.
Yeah.
So I think people, they think that education only serves to start a career, to learn a new skill, but they don't associate education with love. We need to be educated. It makes sense. Everything about love makes so much sense.
It does. But the world complicates it.
Yeah.
Hollywood complicates it. They romanticize.
No, they say we remove all the romantic.
Yeah.
You remove all the romance when you speak.
Exactly.
No, it's my life at stake.
Exactly. And that's why we have to think.
So be careful. If someone is telling you so many nice things, but it's never a good time to turn on their camera. They don't have connection, but somehow they are able to email you. Another thing, they ask you to, I'm going to send you some money so that you can give to a friend. Don't do it because someone is probably using it to do money laundering.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it in
Yeah.
English?
Money laundering.
Okay, money laundering, not laundry. But on a more serious note, this is why I like to have Matilda and my English-speaking colleagues with me to help me. So it's not normal. Hold on a second. Why don't you transfer directly to the person's account? The person is running away from the tax.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you get this box in your house, like it happened. A lady came to me. I got this box, this massive box with lots of money in it. My boyfriend asked me to deposit in. So I told her, listen, you should call the police right now. You see, church is not just what many people think.
Like a religious
No,
gathering.
church is like a
no.
mother. It takes care of you.
It does. It really does.
All right. So be careful with scams. Now, Matilda,
Yes.
there is another dangerous connection. Tell us about it.
Boy meets girl, girl meets boy. They become friends, and they
Where
start
do
to
they
get
meet?
closer. They can meet in the office, at work. People meet at school, college. Some people even meet in clubs. I've heard all sorts. And then they say, oh, they get closer. Oh, we're just friends, But then what people don't realize is that boys and girls can never just be friends, because sooner or later, feelings will develop.
But that's how relationships begin, through a friendship.
But the problem is sometimes maybe this person is already in a relationship.
That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what I want to talk
This
about.
person is already there. He's already with someone, but then
Because
you're
if you're
there.
single, you can mingle, you can chat, no
Yeah.
problem. But boundaries. Because
Yes.
remember, you have your principles, your values, and you don't know who that person is. You, like you said, you started working somewhere different, and then this person is. You can tell he's a playboy. He likes to flirt with all the girls in the office. Guess what? Not with me, sir. I'm not that kind of person. Nothing, against those who like it, but so you have this very healthy friendship. But you don't allow people to cross lines.
Yeah.
And they can immediately tell, oh, this one is different.
Yes. Exactly.
This one is worth pursuing, maybe. Okay. But going back to the topic of, let's talk about someone who is married. How can a friendship at work be dangerous, in your opinion?
Because, for instance, you're always there. Oh, we're working late. I'm working late with this person, or you're always there flirting, talking, oh, I'm going for lunch, always with this person. Or, oh, I'm going to do something, but always with this person, always messaging, always talking. These kind of things, they're dangerous because, of course, you're working with someone, you have to work, but you have to keep it professional.
Yeah, and there will always be someone testing the ground.
Yes.
Or testing the waters.
Testing the ground, testing the waters.
Let me see how far I can go with this lady. Maybe, they like your look. You look nice. You are friendly. But then let me test the waters. Let me see how far I can go.
Exactly.
Because you are in a marriage, right? You are in a marriage. You have your challenges. You have maybe your children. Maybe something happened last night. You had a small disagreement, which is completely normal. But then you have this person who is almost stalking you. They have a plan. Oh, you look so nice today.
Yeah.
Oh, you look so sad today. What happened?
And then you start opening up. Oh, because my husband did this and did that, did this. And then they're like, let me give you a listening shoulder to cry on.
Why don't we go and have, I tell you what, let's go and have coffee after work.
Exactly. And then
Tell
you
me
go
all about it, girl. I'm your friend. You can trust me. And then what's going to happen? Thoughts will come. Because guess what? Even though, for example, I am very well married. I really am. I took my time. I really waited the time I had to wait. I dated the right way, not because I'm better than anyone, because I've learned this in the church through the Word of God. So I don't like to use the word fortunate, because you can still do the same. Even if you failed, there's so many books we always talk about here on the program to teach you. Everything I know is in these books. So for example, I am married. My husband has his very own personality. Maybe he's not the very talkative kind. Or maybe he's not, I don't know, that overly romantic, emotional kind of man who is always in touch with his feelings and notices when I'm sad and all that kind of thing. We're all different.
Yeah.
So if someone tells you at work, Matilda, oh, something that your husband doesn't tell you, what kind of thoughts do you think will...
And the person starts to compare. Oh, you see, so this one is more romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, he's more
He gets me.
caring. He understands me. He's more thoughtful. But my husband doesn't do this, do that. And then the thoughts come.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you see.
Maybe.
And then you start to look at your husband in a negative way, like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, because so-and-so.
Comparing
Yeah,
him.
exactly. The one at work does this, but you don't do this, you don't do that. And then that's how things start to break down.
And many times the woman will not say anything. She will just look at him
Yeah, so-
funny.
yeah.
He's not like so-and-so at work. So dangerous connection.
Very.
You know, I don't care what people say, but I can tell you this. Very good relationships start with a very good friendship because you get to know the person for real. And then you go like, oh, we have potential to move forward and be together and who knows, right? But people say there's nothing, it's harmless. It's harmless to have a friend of the opposite sex at work. It is harmful. Take it from someone or from us who've been who talk to people on a daily basis, who advise people who have done it and now they wish they could go back in time.
Exactly.
And they've ruined their relationships. They don't know how to tell their partner what they've done. It's a long story. So today's program, Matilda, is a warning. Protect yourself, okay? Be focused. Protect your marriage, protect your love life. Even if you are dating and you're not yet married, respect your partner by not being overly friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be too flirtatious. And if you're single as well, protect yourself. Don't be too anxious or desperate to start looking online or, looking for people who are already married and things like that, because this is wrong.
Yeah, and just for us to finalize, Matilda, because I know we have a video we want to play that is related to this topic in a way. It's a series of videos that we do weekly that talk about, actually we have the book here, right here, 40 Secrets for the Single Woman right here, that you can watch the video. We're doing a book club on this book and we explain chapter by chapter very clearly for you to be more, gain more wisdom in that department. But singles, even though you are dating, you have to respect your partner because he's not there with you all the time. So you break that trust and then you can't complain. You can't say that all women are the same, all men are the same, because you did what you shouldn't have done. And you can't play reverse psychology on the person.
Very true.
Oh, what are you saying? Our relationship is toxic. You don't want me to have friends? No, I don't.
Or
Of the opposite sex, no, unless it's your auntie, your cousin, your mother. I know this goes really against what people think. Not people in general, but some groups of people. But if you look closely at those groups of people, the success rate on relationship is very, very small. Because, it's an idea. They've embraced,
they've embraced,
that makes
exactly.
no sense. Okay, so you need to do what you need to do to protect what you have, right?
Exactly.
Matilda, shall we, we're going to play the video right at the end. There's a Bible verse we want to read. Would you like to please go ahead and read it?
It says, teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe your commandments. So basically, when we follow God's commandment and we follow his guidance, we get good judgment and knowledge. He gives us wisdom. Okay, what you're doing is wrong, or you're going over the line, you're crossing the boundaries. God always guides us when we follow him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And how do you know his commandments? By reading the Bible. Anybody can read the Bible. Obviously, you may not understand it very well, but when you come to the church, you learn how to read the Bible. And the Word of God is pure guidance. It's like a torch. In the dark, you need a torch. Guess what? Sometimes certain situations in life pretend it's dark. But with the Word of God, it's like you have a torch on your hand and you find your way. And you know what to do and how to protect yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Well, that's all for now. Matilda, anything else to add before we leave?
All said,
That's
all
it,
done.
isn't it? If you have any comments, if you have any questions, or if you want to share your story about any of the things we've mentioned, feel free to leave your comments on the section on the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video and join us again next week. Thank you for coming once again, Matilda.
Thank you for having me.
And we hope to see you more often.
Yes.
All right. That's all for now. God bless you. Bye-bye.
If you are a single woman navigating the ups and downs of this stage in life, you should definitely check out The 40 Secrets for the Single Woman by Nanda Becerra. Every week, Helena Marquez reads and discusses the chapters of the book in our VYG Book Club episodes on YouTube. This is to offer a deeper understanding of how adopting and taking the right steps can bring about positive results. Don't forget to tune in to the VYG Book Club. A fresh episode awaits you every Sunday at 8 p.m. on the Victory Youth Group YouTube channel.